Hey there viewers, welcome back to another episode of Ray of All Trades. Today we're working on a Husqvarna 128 LD? Sure. String trimmer. Said it didn't start. Had a bent shaft on it, missing the head on it, and it's got a massive amount of compression. First thing I noticed on it, the gas in that tank is extremely clear. So I got a feeling, and it's full by the way, I got a feeling we might have a straight gasser. With any luck, they put it in and it didn't start, but anyway, let's open it up and see what we get. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and drain that gas out of there. Definitely regular unleaded. Probably burn well in the car. Not so good on a two-stroke. Hopefully it didn't start. However, if it did, it's going to be extremely visible once we take off this muffler. And to have a look inside that cylinder. It's like a T25. Take this cover out the way. It's definitely scored. I have seen worse. Definitely worse on the bottom side, right about there, and then on the intake side of the cylinder. I have seen worse though. I think we might try to fix that one and see if it comes around. With any luck, they just put straight gas in it, couldn't get it to fire because the carburetor was gummed up, or the spark plug or something wrong, and all it was the little bit of scoring is from a lack of lubrication. Anything little critters in there. Not terrible though. Tell you what, let's give this thing a chance to fire off. She actually runs pretty good. Before we go too crazy and start rebuilding stuff, let's see if we can just siphon some good gas through it. What the heck? What do we got to look at? Let's try it. Give it a little boost. Alright. Okay, so I tried a few more times. It will not start. and it smells like old gas really bad. Disconnect those wires. Not really necessary, but it's fighting me trying to come out. Open up the throttle. Lift up on that throttle cable to get it out. It should be coming apart and it's not. Oh, that's not good. Well, friends, my other camera died right in the middle as soon as I discovered this. It's the intake block. I'll look and see what parts are available for this thing. So I'll add up all the pieces and parts to it, and we'll see if this is a lost cause or if it's worth salvaging anything off of it. Maybe the gas tank could be useful to somebody, or maybe the starter. Okay, friends, parts have arrived. Ordered a new manifold block, intake manifold block off of Evil Bay. As like all aftermarket sellers, they don't even clean them up or anything. They don't have time. They sell these things pretty cheap. But I don't see any cracks. Looks like it's in still good shape. And it looks much better than the one that we're replacing. So let's get this torn apart and see about getting that manifold replaced. Let's see what else we need to do. Let's have a look at that piston. It's got a little bit of marking on it, but all in all, it's not real deep. I really think that it just wouldn't start with that straight unleaded gasoline. It was probably pushing gas in it with no oil, and that little bit of scoring is from it not starting. So that would have been on there, something like that. These two bolts go through here like that. Okay. Two bolts Gasket's intact. It's got these two shoulders to line it up on that block. You should feel it drop in. So while I was searching around for that part, I found a full, what they call tune-up kit. Realistically, it's basically a carburetor, air filter, fuel lines, primer bulbs, spark plugs, fuel filter. It's everything. Very likely I could reuse this carburetor. Very unlikely that anything's wrong with it. But since I'm this far in, I might as well go ahead and just swap everything out. And yes, they are rebuildable. The kit to rebuild it is, I think, $5 or $7, something like that. Came with a couple of primer bulbs, came with some new fuel line. Savior BPM 7E. New fuel filter, and I like this style, I really do. They have a good amount of weight and they don't get clogged up as much. Got a new gasket, new carb gasket, and then these are breathers. Air is allowed to come in there, and when it pulls a vacuum, it opens up. There's a little slot right in there that's opening up when I squeeze it. And that's how the air comes in and prevents fuel from getting out. Tell you what, until I decide if I'm changing those fuel lines out, just put them in the right order. So one at a time. That one went on the front, this one went on the back. Next is that gasket. The throttle cable. There's a groove right here. Lines up with that groove right there. Go ahead and give that a pull, just to make sure that it stays up and out the way. It came disconnected along the way. There's buffer tubes on your gas tank. Make sure that those are back in place. If we end up changing out the fuel tank, we will be able to do, or the fuel lines, we'll be able to do it after everything's on. So that's not a problem. Carburetor lines up just like that. Falls in, or that buffer falls into a groove there. All right, so drop this into that hole, into position. Slide that back into that groove. Slide the carburetor on. Check before you get too far. Hold the carburetor on and squeeze the trigger a couple times. Make sure that it works like it's supposed to. And we've got a gasket. Oops. I guess that was supposed to go out that way. Alright, so feed that through. Choke lever functions like it's supposed to. It has a brand new air filter. Let's go ahead and put that on. I know the old one wasn't terrible, probably cleanable, but let's go ahead and change it. We have it, let's change it. Yeah, comparing the two, I guess that filter was pretty bad, wasn't it? Change out that spark plug too. They gave us one. Old plug, nice brown color. Yeah, I don't think that thing was ever straight gassed. I mean, it was in the tank, don't get me wrong. about 22, 23. And the brand new about exact same, 22, 23. I'll verify when I'm doing the video, but it sure looks about right. And let's tighten that up, bone crushing tight. Just kidding. Inside this cover, there's 2 grooves here. Line up with those 2 rubber buffers right there. There's this slot right here. Lines up with that filter right there. If that spark plug boot's in your way, you can pull it off until the very end. But if everything's mashed in there like it's supposed to be, it should close up completely. And this one is not. So that buffer or bumper needs to go into there. That's telling me that that one's probably not closing up properly. Yep. You can look in the sides and see what's going on with it. On the base is a good place to start with these. It kind of tells you have everything lined up starting from the bottom up. If that works and then this slides together, then you know you got it. Again, coarse threads because I'm going into plastic. And the starter. Oh, there's a stink bug. Tell you what, let's get rid of that stink bug outside. You never know what you're going to find. Little spider webs. If that spider caught a stink bug, he's going to be mad. I just took away a dinner for a month. Yeah, let's see if she pumps fuel. Yep, sure does. First step, let's see. It says prime this 10 times. Full choke. Pull 3 times. Half choke. Pull to start. Off choke. Let's see if it works. That was 3. Half choke. Oh, it did what it said it was going to do. It just didn't stay running. When the engine's warm and you want to start it, you do half choke, pull to start, and off choke. I think it needs a carb adjustment. I need to open that jet up just a little bit. Friends, I know you're going to find this hard to believe. This brand new spark plug was spitting and backfire and everything else, and I'm adjusting the carburetor thinking that it was not running right, and ended up putting the old spark plug back in, running like a top now. This brand new spark plug will only fire half the time. Had the right gap and everything out of the box, but again, it's not an NGK. It's got their numbers on it, but it's made by Savior, which is, I'm assuming, some Chinese company. They're brand new out of the box. It only sparked, 80% of the time. Anyhow, call that one fixed. If you guys learned anything, enjoyed watching me work, enjoyed the video, smashing that thumbs up button would be really helpful for me. It helps the channel a lot. Doesn't cost you guys anything. Helps show me what kind of content you guys like and what to do next. Got a few more things to take care of today, so I'm going to try to get those knocked out. Thanks for tuning in.